the power of social media is very powerful lah. It's like sometimes I go out, people will say that, hey, you're the fishball guy, right? And they'll give me encouraging words. So that's very encouraging and humbling for me. So I wouldn't say I'm a fishball hongzi, I just see myself as a fishball guy. Yeah, I need my coffee in the morning, black coffee. No, I won't be able to survive. Overslept? No lah, because I wake up at next day 4 AM how to overslept? Sleep 10 plus hours already. More than enough. So my morning usually I wake up around 12:40, then I wash up, then I have my coffee before I head over to the market and cycle over to the market. So around 10 plus, my dad wake up the earliest because he need to go and get vegetables. So 10 plus, he will cycle to around 8 to get some vegetables. Then I will go over and help around 1 plus. Then my mom will go around 3 to 4 AM, around the timing, to help with production. Even until now, it's quite a struggle for me lah, but no choice lah. Normally after my cup of coffee there, I'll feel okay already. Initially, it was like the goal of wanting to sustaining my family business lah, but after a while, it just become like a habit. That's something that I do constantly, that I enjoy doing lah, because it's things that I've been doing for a long time, my family business. So I would say it's something that I enjoy doing, so it's something that is habitual already. Hi everyone, I'm Delonix. I'm 26 this year. I'm a third generation fishball maker at Sandai Fishball. So a typical day for me starts around at 12:40 when I wake up. Then I have my coffee. Then I'll come here and start work. So around 1 plus when I come here, right, we will chop the fish meat first. After chopping the fish meat, we will grind the fish meat 2 times before we process the fish paste by beating it using the machine. You need to grind 2 times because you need to make sure that the fish meat is actually fine enough. You grind it 1 time, the fish paste that come out doesn't have a good silky consistency. After that, we'll add seasoning to make sure the fish paste is done. It takes around 30 minutes to do one round. After that, we will shape the fish ball, we will stuff the Yong Tau Fu. Until around 5 plus, 6 plus, then we will start selling. So Sandai Fishball was started by my grandfather lah. Actually, the initial name is actually called Heng Fishball Yong Tau Fu. My grandfather started around in the 1960s. So last time there wasn't even hawker center, so they started off on the street until the government consolidated and created the concept of hawker centers. Then they shifted over here. So we have been doing that since then for over 60 plus years. Yeah, but when I decided to join the family business, right, I renamed it to Sandai lah, to create a social media presence online. I want it to be something that is more relatable to younger people. So Sandai actually means 3 generations. So outside of this, I have a full-time job lah. I work in a catering company. Yeah, so on the weekend, I help out at the store and also create content, mainly on the marketing side of things lah, like pre-orders, social media content creation. I will show people to document the process in a day in the life of a wet market owner and how is it like. Yeah, very ghetto, right? You first make a fishball by smoothing out the fish meat like this first. Then use the back of your finger to make it, push it up with your thumb, then scoop it with a spoon and put it into the water. The key thing is you need to dip your spoon in the water so that it will not stick to the spoon. I feel that rarely nowadays people make fishball from scratch like us, and even if they do, they will add like starch and surimi, a lot of starch, chemical. It's heavily processed because I don't blame them because they need to lower their cost. But for us, we stick to the traditional method of using only 100% yellowtail fish without any starch or chemical or preservative into our fishball. So that's the reason why our fishball is nicer lah, in a sense, and more authentic. So my uncle and auntie come here every day lah. So they own a cooked food store at Lorong Asu selling cooked Yong Tau Fu. So every morning they will come here to help with production. They will do stuffing for the Yong Tau Fu before they go over to their store at around 6 AM. Kampong vibe. 你送哈？睇睇呢。I was rebellious in secondary school. I did use the excuse to say that, oh, I want to drop out of school to go and do fishball, but that wasn't serious lah. I only started to get really serious when I really think that I want to commit to learning a craft, to grow a business. I'm not a good student. I didn't do well in school. Then my family also wasn't well to do in the past. So I think I grew up needing attention and stuff like that. So naturally, I become a very loudmouth kid that always seek for attention. So I got targeted like by the school seniors lah.
Then from there, things spiraled out. I started to mixing with like bad crowds from my neighborhood. Yeah, then it spiraled down lah. I started to join gang, get into fight, get into trouble. So my wake up call was because I got expelled from IT. So back then I was only 6 months away from graduation. Yeah, then I didn't even have any like bad record in school or whatsoever, but IT back then was very strict lah. So when you get into a fight, you will get expelled immediately. I was very lucky lah that I was not convicted because I was still very young at that point of time. So when I got into a fight, it was not detrimental. I didn't need to attend court lah because I was under 18. I got into lockup. So lockup is like a holding cell. So when you do something wrong, the police bring you back to the lockup, and then you stay there for a night until someone bail out the next day. So my parents was a bit like kampo lah, because I got locked up not once but twice. So after the incidents, they were like, yeah, they were quite disappointed and at the same time worried lah, especially my mom. From that incident, really like give me like a so-called wake-up call lah. Then I was very lucky. My cousin back then passed me a self-help book, so he sort of like shared with me like, he said that like, hey, actually you quite daring, quite garang. Every time fight you also go first, can influence others. Why not use your so-called good traits to go and build your family business up and all. He gave me this idea lah, and back then it was very encouraging. No one ever said that to me lah, that you have all this strength. And I started to digest a bit, and from there I decided that I want to change my life lah. So I committed to cutting off like those friends, setting goals, forming good habits, etc. Coming here and helping out every week, right, I built a sense of belonging and identity that I'm a fishball maker. I think that what you repeatedly do lah. So now that I'm so focused on the business and all, of course I get my sense of identity as like a fishball maker, and I take a lot of pride as well lah, for being a third generation fishball maker, because it's not easy to run a business, especially doing it for over 3 generations. So my parents' initial reaction was immediately they think that you cannot make it lah, because actually to run a hawker store like this, right, it requires a lot of discipline, hard work and grit. So with my track record, I don't think anyone think I can do it lah, so they were not supportive. Even when I came here, right, I want to learn how to make fishball, all this. My dad didn't want to teach me, so I go practice at my uncle's store. To my dad, it's like every day is very busy. You see, operationally it's very busy. So he wants to make sure everything flows very smoothly. But I was committed lah, so I just find the time to really go and make the effort to learn outside of working hours. Personally, I feel that I already received like 90% of the kung fu already lah. But my dad said that I'm only 40% there. But maybe I'm not as 细心 as him lah. He's very focused on the details. Because sometimes I want to get things fast. I kanchiong ma. But he's very focused on the detail. Even if your tau a bit sengeh, he will make noise already. Or the fishball, the shape a bit off, he will also make noise. I will give myself 80 points out of 100 points. 20% is maybe the focus on the details lah. My dad have a high standard in his way. Sometimes he will say that my fishball a bit small. I say you can tell me, it looks the same to me.
Uncle, 你觉得他做 fishball 好吗？
I think the most difficult part for me for coming to the family business is dealing with my dad lah, because for him to maximize efficiency. So it was very difficult for me to try to ask him to teach me and know that it's okay to make mistakes. And because his style is like, you cannot do, don't waste time. But to me, it's like you don't do, you forever will never learn how to do. When I started doing social media content or even video interviews, he was very against it. Like, I feel that it's wasting of time. Why do you want all this? Like, what is the purpose of all this? Yeah, so communication-wise, because we have very different views and direction. He feels like something that this is a very tough job, it's a very hard business. But to me, it's that I'm very grateful for this business. I feel like it's my competitive advantage. For me, I'm very firm and determined to take over the store lah, because I feel that we already paid down like 60 years of ignorant debt of this legacy, that you already compounded all this knowledge in a specific domain. It's a waste to let go of it, because anything you do is difficult. You think this is hard, you go to another business, it will also be hard. Yeah, things always look sexy on the other side, like the grass is always greener on the other side. Yeah, so I'm definitely planning to take over the store. I have 2 worries. My 2 main concerns are firstly manpower, because it's family business, so my family and my uncle and auntie are helping, but they're actually aging already. So by the time that they really cannot work anymore, I will be facing a serious issue lah, but that will be a problem that I will need to solve along the way lah. Then second thing will be consumer trend lah. Online deliveries, change supermarket. Younger people like us don't even visit wet market. Most of us are like going to supermarket and all, so the footfall definitely will be affected as well. I used to be more worried on that, but now I'm less worried because I believe that if you have a good product and a good branding, a product that really provides value to the consumer, people will still come. There will still be supporters who know how to enjoy good and authentic food. I feel that my TikTok marketing definitely helped the business because initially we have a good business because we have been here for a long time, but it's only in residential. But TikTok helped me to like get the words out there, to let different people come to try our food even from further places, not just constrained to this area. Actually, a lot of old people use TikTok. A lot of my old customers, they are boomers already, like in the 70 plus, 60 plus. They still come and saw you on TikTok. Then I was pretty shocked, like, wow, trend is really changing already. And even I thought boomers would be watching television and all, but actually they are scrolling TikTok and they know that I'm posting on TikTok, which I'm very surprised and find it very interesting. My advice would be to take baby steps, focus on small incremental growth. I mean, real change doesn't happen overnight. For me, it was difficult as well. Initially, I feel that loss of identity. I got my sense of importance from those friends and all. I feel like I was someone a big shot and all, but that's why I was struggling. There's many times where I feel like, maybe I can go back to the lifestyle of back then. But setting goals and focusing on small changes, helped me to stay focused. So focus on small change to build a solid track record, and that will create confidence for you to keep pushing forward. And then 3 to 5 years down the road, you'll be really thankful. Actually, 我也是可以蛮厉害的。makan. For my own personal take, I think that instead of committing immediately, I want to open a shop, go and do part-time first, or go and get an apprenticeship from an older hawker first. Get a feel of how things are like, because it's really not easy. People think it's very glamorous running your own business, but it's not easy. Try out the concept first, get a feel of how things are like before you commit to it full-time. When I look back to myself, I just tell myself that I'm glad that I pushed through and I did the right thing by pushing through and focusing on the small wins.